guys, we are going to do a tarot video today. Obviously, I don't really like to show myself on camera. This is actually, I've done it a few times, but for me, it's kind of an insecurity, but I'm learning to get over it. So we're gonna try and be consistent on this channel and post every day or every other day and try to show my face more. So this is kind of where I'm at currently. Now, I wanted to jump on and do a reading. However, I don't know what it's going to be. I know nothing about what I'm going to be posting, but I am curious to see what comes out. So just doing a overall collective energy, just what the majority of people might be going through currently at this time, and just getting a little bit of a message that way. Oh, and if you guys can hear something in the background, that is my rice cooker going on. I'm making myself food. And it was so funny because I actually turned it on and I walked away, and then I think it finally kicked on about 5 to 10 minutes later, and I was like, what was that? And I had to laugh at myself because I realized, oh yeah, duh, I'm making rice. So So we have the Strength card in the reverse. And something that I'm kind of automatically already getting from this is there is a struggle between higher self and lower self, right? The enlightened part of you and the ego side of you. There is a tug of war. One of the ways that I am also kind of getting is that for a lot of people, there can be a tendency of building new habits, but then going backwards on the habit. So it's kind of a struggle to make yourself become more balanced. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I'm kind of parched, or I'm having a hard time talking. Maybe because it's I don't talk as much. I don't talk a whole lot, like I used to, but I don't talk as much as I used to. And so when I do videos, or I try to do videos, I feel like it just ruins my voice because my vocal cords is not used to talking as much as I am. Alright. But yeah, it gives me this it's like working on consistency, working on taming parts of yourself. Usually if you have an emotional reaction, it's easy to just react than to be able to respond. And for a lot of you, maybe this is something that has been an issue, where you will start something or you will react and then be like, ah, why did I do that? So for a lot of you guys, dealing with that as just in general, there could always be this need to have to always try and prove yourself, or this need to try and work harder. And it's you're putting in as much of your willpower and your effort, but you feel like you're just not getting anywhere. So there's kind of a little bit of a why bother, or even if I do keep trying and even give yourself time to rest, you still feel like you're not hitting that goal, or that you're not hitting those needs. So it makes it really difficult. And it's kind of one of those running themes where I feel like a lot of people are really frustrated with. It also makes me kind of feel like a lot of you guys have dealt with challenges, and you might even be in the middle of a challenge and not knowing what to do. Some of you guys, you could be experiencing a form of kind of apathy, or feeling kind of lethargic. There is something in your life that's emotionally draining you. And it's emotionally draining you because it's something demanding. It feels very demanding. This feels like a struggle between this actually just, it really feels like an actual person to me, right? So you guys could be dealing with someone who's making you feel emotionally exhausted. Every time you talk to this person, it's like they are always saying or doing something that either you don't agree with or is kind of negative. You know, when you're around somebody who's constantly complaining, or it's like, you know what it's like when you also try to give your care, time, and attention towards someone or something, and then over time it's like wears and tears on you because you're not getting anything back in return. So it's depleting you with time, and the more that you spend dealing with it, it's like the more tired you become, the more agitated you are. So you're more likely to lash out on people around you. You're more likely to be dealing with people that don't mean you well because you're already feeling this depletion, because either you're overgiving in some area. This feels like an emotional tie though. This feels like something on an emotional level that is keeping you in this feeling powerless, feeling stuck, feeling like there's nothing you can really do. So there is this, I wouldn't even call it a victim mentality, so to speak. What I would call it is feeling like there's a part of you that knows you can do something about it, but you're feeling in a form of helplessness towards it because you don't want to disappoint this person, you don't want to hurt this person, or it's more like, have you ever been around people that just either don't get the hint or they are constantly pushing against your boundaries and they're constantly testing you, and the part of you is always like, okay, well, I'm going to deal with this, I'm going to handle it, and then with time it becomes more and more apparent that this person doesn't love you or respect you, and you're getting angry and you're getting frustrated. But then when you tell them like, hey, you know, I'm done or whatever, it's almost like they just keep coming back and they keep coming back. Like, I know that there's been times when I've told certain people like, hey, I don't ever want to talk to you again, and they still try and talk to me even like years down the road, right? It's like things like that when you're like, wow, really? Why are you still bothering me? So there could be somebody in your life that, I think it's because this person sees that you have something going for you with this Wheel of Fortune in the upright. So I think this person, they know that something is happening for you. There's something good happening for you. They can sense it. So it's like they want to be around you because they're basically like an opportunist. So you have a few people. Yeah. Ooh. Interesting. So you're giving consistently. It's either you or this person, right? Take it however it resonates. And who knows, maybe this isn't even for you. I mean, you can just watch to watch. Why not? So it's like you have this person who is emotionally draining, and then, goodness gracious, and then you have this person who is constantly actually giving. So whether you're giving this person money, resources, or you're giving them time, energy, and attention, it's like you cannot feed this person. You know, it's like dealing with a person that has such a huge gaping hole or an avoidance of oneself that they will indulge in bad habits, or they will do things that they know are bad for themselves because they don't care or love or respect themselves. So putting yourself into harm's way with somebody that is self-depleting, even on an emotional level, it's only going to make it more difficult. So now this is the thing. A part of someone knows that if they move away, they actually have the ability to heal from this connection. Right? And knowing this, it's hard because even if, let's say, you know deep down, you're like, okay, I've dealt with this person for X amount of years, or I've been comfortable in a situation that doesn't value me or give me what I need. This person, place, or thing is draining your energy. And a part of you knows deep down inside that if you were to move on and actually deal with it and move forward, that you know that with time, or that you know that this would instantly help you start to heal your own self. It's like this person is depleting your health. This person is like depleting your energy. It's making you not think clearly. Okay, it could be a substance, it can be a person, it can be an environment. But I'm getting that it almost feels like a person to me. Somebody that is actually draining your energy because of lack of boundaries, or lack of respect, or lack of a situation. And this is something that you know needs to be done. Now, I'm not telling people, I mean, you know, like for me, one of the reasons why I think I have such a hard time actually making videos is because I'm like, who am I to give advice, right? Or who am I to say what to do? But how I view it is that tarot shows you the potential of what it can become as an outcome. But me stating this could also be changing fate, right? But it also, in my opinion, helps you just see a broader range of a situation, and it's always nice to feel like you can see someone else's input on the energy, right? That's pretty much and how I see tarot. I see it as like a tool. So take this as you will, but I believe that a lot of you guys that understand what I'm saying is that you know that you're in a situation, or that you know that you're doing things that is not serving you and moving you forward, because you're dealing with something or someone or some kind of habit that's actually slowing you down, that's causing you to trip yourself up. It's like letting go now so that you don't continuously self-sabotage. Because this person's depleting you of your resources. They're depleting you of your energy. They're depleting you of things that they have no business taking, or they have no reason to do that, right? Yeah, so cutting this loose. I think a lot of you guys already know this, so that's what you're doing. A lot of you guys are like, you know what? You can keep that. You can have that. I think we're done here. Or I feel the urge to stop arguing. Stop caring. It's like that becomes what I am picking up. It's like learning to just detach. And you're not detaching from a way of being a jerk or in any necessarily negative way. It's more like realizing this doesn't serve me, this isn't fun anymore, I'm done with this trial, I'm done with the lesson. How many times can I keep repeating a cycle and knowing that it's actually going to continuously end the same way? So it's just kind of cutting things out that you know are not going to bring you forward. And you might have to fight for that. Because I get the impression that whatever this is not, it's like a very sticky situation. It's a very anxiety-ridden situation. It's just something that makes you feel very antsy or uncomfortable. Whatever this has could have even taken a hit on your self-worth or your self-esteem. Yeah, you know, I'm getting here that someone isn't sleeping very good, right? You're up thinking too much. You're going back and forth. Should I not do this, do not? And it's like, you know what you actually need to do. You know you need to cut this and move forward, and that's the way you're going to heal from this. But there's like a fear of the unknown. There's a fear of, what if I do this and I regret it? What if I do this and something bad happens? Like, you're almost afraid of the other shoe dropping. You're almost afraid of that person's response, or you're almost afraid of the reaction, right? Instead of, it's almost like you know that this individual does not respond. You know that they react. So a part of you could be like, ooh, if I was to do this, or if I was to say that, or if I was to end this, move forward, what is this person gonna do? And this is you being afraid of the response. And that's why you're going back and forth on a decision that you've already known about for a long time. But there is a defensiveness and a worry that comes from this situation. So with this, what I'm getting is that you almost don't expect anything to arrive, right? You're not getting the reciprocation that you want. You're not getting the care that you need from this situation. So you cutting your ties from this and you moving forward from this isn't, and it's interesting because what I'm getting here, collective, is I'm not getting that it's going to be hard. It's almost like, this is the best way I can put it. You're emotionally done. You're over it. You've given a lot. It's not that you don't care about the individual anymore, but you know what it's like when all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I love you. Yeah, I care about you, but I just lose all feelings now. I see through the manipulation, I see through the game, I see through the constant guilt tripping that this person may lay down or may have tried to control. I feel like this person just put in a lot of the stops. This person could be very dramatic, very explosive. And at one point, that could have been exciting or kept you maybe on your toes, or, you know, how you kind of felt about it. But then over time, you're like, that's a lot. I don't want to deal with that. And not only that, but it's like, when you're around this person, it's like, oh, can you do this for me? For me. There's never really, like I said, a reciprocation. So you no longer expecting that. That is a part of that decision making, because you're like, well, I'm scared of this person's response when I do it, but at the same exact time, I'm not getting anything out of this. I'm not getting the care I need, the reciprocation that I need. And it's just making you like no longer want to sit here and contemplate it anymore. You're kind of like, well, I don't know why, but I'm not going to sit here and keep on hoping that that's what's going to happen. It's very frustrating. It's just like you don't know what you're going to get from this individual. And it's like walking on eggshells. I think what some of the problem is too is, you know what it's like when you just try to figure people out? You're like, man, why is this person this way? Why did they say it like that? Why did they do this? Right? You want to like overthink and psychoanalyze. Guess what? It actually really, truly doesn't matter most of the time. I am still guilty of this, but 9 times out of 10, when you have to ask, why is this person like that? Goodness. It's usually because of something that they went through. And half the time it doesn't actually evolve you. So you have to kind of learn to detach from things on a personal level and realize that sometimes people's behaviors is just based off of them, not you. You didn't do anything wrong. Maybe you were just in the environment at the wrong time. Maybe this individual does that to everyone. So you're not special in that way of why they did you the way that they did, right? There can be multiple reasons, but the constant putting that in your mind and ruminating over it over and over again, and you're not getting the solution that you're wanting, is most likely because there's nothing for you to figure out. There's nothing for you to have to deal with. It's not your problem. This person having a mental breakdown or being irrational in a situation is not your problem. Feeling like you have to walk on eggshells, or you feel like you have to be responsible for this individual, not your burden. So that is going to clear up a lot of stress for you guys. And it's like having to sometimes learn not to not care, but also understand when something is a sinking ship, right? Sometimes you just have to jump off. Sometimes you have to pick your battles. Sometimes you have to sit there and think, okay, well, am I going to sit there and put up with somebody like that? Do I want to put up with somebody like that? I don't know. That's up to you. So one thing too is maybe you feel the urge or the need to ghost the person, perhaps because they don't get the message, or there's something about you trying to tighten up the conversation. So let's say if this is somebody that you have a child with, you only talk about the child and what you have to talk about. Anything else, it's like, I don't want to hear about it. Like, that's kind of a boundary, right? Now, this person could be freaking out because they're used to constantly complaining about something or wanting to ask for something else, or it's like there is something there about an emotional drain that this person invokes. So learning to set those boundaries on what is and isn't okay to talk about might be what is needed in a situation, because I almost get the feeling that this person, it's like you want to let them go, but there could be strings or ties attached to them, whether that's on a business sense, a financial, right? Maybe you own property or something with the individual, or it could be literally co-parenting or separating, right? But there's like a process of things that have to finally be phased out, and it's like really grueling. And again, it's like not wanting to talk, right? Trying to stop communication as much as possible, because you have to refocus back on your garden, have to refocus back on yourself, because I feel like this person was actually draining your bank account, or was actually draining resources, or actually doing something that was not benefiting you in any way, shape, or form. It was toxic. It was very toxic. And it felt like something that, it was like a when you think you are over it and when you're moving on, it's like it just pulls you back in, right? It was just something that, it was like two people that would just like trigger one another. But this feels like it's hard not to take it personal, because this is like an intimate partner of yours, or someone where you put a lot of love, trust, and faith into them, and you felt as though it was not reciprocated. And of course, it would obviously bug you to make you want to know why, or it would obviously hurt you or impact you. So it makes complete sense to why this is a difficult scenario to walk away from. But it's also something that I feel like is kind of necessary, right? This is a chance to grow, right? Like, in order to grow, we have to sometimes just grow up. And you can be in a connection for a really long time and it not working out, and that's not like, that doesn't mean that you're a failure, if that makes sense. Like, you could have gone through the worst scenarios in relationships, but that doesn't mean that the next relationship is like that. It doesn't mean that you're doomed to be set for that forever. It just means that sometimes it's the people that you're surrounding yourself with, and it's sometimes the people that you choose, right, that make the difference. Because someone can bring out the best in you, or someone can bring out the worst in you. And it depends on the person, it depends on the situation. So some of you guys, this could be just it's like there's a beating yourself up when you don't need to be beating yourself up. It's like, why are you beating yourself up? This is a normal thing. People come and go. People leave our lives all the time. You know, we meet strangers every day, and the chances of us ever seeing them again is slim. And yet you don't see us beating ourselves up for not seeing that stranger again, or for, you know, it's just sometimes you are with that person for a short period because that individual and you and them could have bonded on something, could have had something, and then of course over time two people grow apart, they separate, maybe it wasn't even on good terms to begin with. So there's a lot of different factors here at play, but I'm just getting that there's no need to beat yourself up. For any of you that have experienced failed relationships or feeling like a failure in this, because I'm getting that it's two people that are obviously in the relationship, and one did genuinely try, while I felt like the other one got very complacent and very comfortable, and their heart was perhaps not in it to begin with. So yeah, you're learning to no longer give. It's like you're giving to the wrong people. There's nothing wrong with giving, and there's nothing wrong with having a generous spirit. But when you're giving to the wrong people, it's super detrimental to you. And that is something that has been a big lesson for me, is I'm too generous, I give too much, but you have to learn to do it for the right people. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's like this individual did things and wanted things for maybe all the wrong reasons. Maybe both of the individuals, whoever this is, maybe you and them, or a group of people, could have all been in it for the wrong reasons, because everybody had some kind of need that they wanted met, but one person was more fulfilling on that agreement than the other. And that's where the sadness, disappointment, anger, frustration, all of these emotions that are all kind of bundled together is coming out. And dealing with somebody like that, where then they make you feel guilty, or they then throw something that you did in your face when you tell them how you're feeling, can be also very frustrating. So there is now this, I'm no longer giving to this individual. I'm closing out my bank account, because it's like there's somebody that was like taking, and there was never enough. There's not enough. And then when they would get everything that you had to offer them or had to give to them, then it was like, well, yeah, but then what about this or what about that? And it's like they're just demanding too. It's like very demanding. It's not even like a nice asking. It's just, and it's frustrating because there is this obligation, right? It's like a feeling of obligation. I just kind of feel like wanting to sneak away, right? Not wanting to, it's almost hoping that this individual doesn't notice that you're pulling away. But it definitely gives that this individual could have lied a lot. And you know what? I'm also getting that for some of you guys, maybe you guys could lie at times as well, too. Not wanting to hurt this person's feelings, trying to band-aid a situation that just doesn't need to be there, whether this is friends, family, relationships, work, colleagues, whatever. But there is this sense of feeling, this feels honestly like somebody's like mom, like baby's mom or baby's dad. Like this just gives that vibe, because there's something here about being so deceitful about it and being like, hey, so I know that I got this much amount of money last month, but your kid needs a new pair of shoes. When really in actuality it's probably not even going to the kid, it's being siphoned. That's the vibe. I'm just getting that this person isn't being honest with what resources they're getting from you and what they're using it for. So that could also be another reason why it's like, yeah, I'm going to cut this off. Because clearly you're taking advantage of me when I'm just trying to work with you. I'm just doing what I can. I'm just trying to make the light of a situation that's already bad. And it's just draining you, because it's like, it's almost like it's making you go against your own morals, or going against your own beliefs, going against your own self. Okay, so all these just like flew out. I feel like it's stopping you from actually reaching the heights. It's stopping you from actually going further in life. Like you have something coming in for you, but whoever this lover is, whoever this situation is, they cannot come with you on that. You cannot have them taking from that. Because if they were to take from that, they're just going to leave you depleted at the end of the day, right? So setting firm boundaries with this individual actually is what's going to make you become more successful. And not just only successful, but it's going to help you not only see your worth more, it's going to help you set those firmer boundaries, and it's also going to prevent you from going down into a poverty mindset or going down into a depletion that you don't need to be at. It's like this individual is like a leech, and I don't want to be rude because, obviously we all have our moments. We all have our times of like leeching on people or, being a drain on people. But this person is just toxic. I feel it. I can sense it. This individual is very manipulative and uses mental and emotional manipulation. I'm not necessarily getting full on physical, but I can see how that could be a thing if this person doesn't get their way per se, right? This just feels like somebody they throw a fit. Like they throw a fit, and it's just not good for your mental health. It's not good for you in general, and then to try and be around other people, like it's just not something that's healthy for you. So getting rid of that trigger point, getting rid of that person would not be, and I'm not trying to, it's so fucked, because I'm not trying to say that you have to get rid of this person, but I'm just saying whatever this is, it is holding you back from greatness. It is holding you back from being better. See, it's like this person's robbing you of your joy. What makes you happy? Why are you putting your life on hold for a situation, a person, a place, a thing that does not care about you? Not because you're not worthy of love, not because that you don't deserve it, but because you're expecting somebody to have more of an emotional intelligence. You're expecting somebody to be better than what they actually are and what they're showing you. So letting go of the fantasy or letting go of the illusion is going to bring you so much more joy, because now you're not sitting here holding on to the thought or the rumination of a situation. Expansion. You're creating, you're getting bigger. Things are moving in the right direction for you. Your self-worth is increasing. And the more that you do service for others, the better off you're going to be. So it's learning to let go of things that is no longer even an option anymore in your life. You have to get to the point where you just don't see this person or this situation as an option. And once you can do that, sky's the limit. Like, I'm just really feeling it. Because then you're going to be focusing on helping others. You're going to be focusing on getting yourself right. You're going to be focusing on building yourself back up, your resources, everything. And then next thing you know, because you're in so much joy, you just start bringing in other people that experience that too, that feel that. And you don't have to almost pretend, right? Like, when you're around some people, you feel like you have to be a certain way to be accepted, or you feel like you have to act a certain way in order to fit into the status quo. You don't have to do that. And that's what this person was making you do. They were trying to force you into a role that made you uncomfortable. So because you felt very uncomfortable in that role, you just stuck it out because of the kids, or you stuck it out because of, well, I need a job, I have to have money. You stuck it out because, well, and you just kept doing that and over again, and what you were doing is you were just shrinking down, you were expanding yourself, because at that point in time you were not actually valuing yourself. And when you stop valuing yourself, it's like you put yourself in situations that are just not serving you. You're around people that will not respect you or will not care for you. And it's like showing you that, that's just not necessarily where you belong. So we also have here intelligence. So education, knowledge, perception, and flexibility. So there is a sense of learning and actually moving forward in this connection, no longer feeling trapped. And it's going to be very emotionally healing for you. I think getting out of this situation and not feeling the emotional drain that this individual brings you is actually what's really going to help you out. It's also going to help you find better connections with other people, because I feel like this situation was very draining, very difficult, very annoying. And once you find your voice and be able to set those boundaries and put yourself together again, you're gonna feel a lot better. And again, it's like the more you know, right? So take everything as a lesson, but don't take it personally. Just because somebody doesn't value or respect you doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. How do you expect somebody to see your self-worth if they don't even see their own self-worth? They don't want to see you thriving when they're not thriving. Some people are just like that. Sometimes that's just how you have to look at life. Don't take it so seriously. Don't look at it like it is super deep. Sometimes it's deep, sometimes it's shallow. Sometimes it doesn't matter if it's either or. Because at the end of the day, what really actually matters is how you help yourself and how you can help others. And if someone is depleting you, if someone is robbing you of your joy, if someone is taking away something that actually that doesn't benefit you or doesn't benefit another individual, then why are you in that situation? As easy as that is said, sometimes it's always scary to take that first step. But just like how Lao Tzu said, a journey of 1,000 steps starts with a single step. So go out there, get what you need done, keep living your life, stay in your own lane, and know that you are worthy and deserving of being treated with love and respect. And know when to give and know when to take. Alright, I love you guys. I hope that this helps you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. Come on, it's not hard. Appreciate it. Alright, love you guys. Bye.